Hi everyone, welcome to the Solar Power Market Series. My name is Erez Dolev and I'm the Managing Director at RENVU. Today we're going to be hearing from Amanda Marquez, Senior Account Manager at Enel X, and she will tell us about Enel X JuiceBox EV Chargers. Before we dive in and while we are waiting for more people to join in, I'll give a little background on RENVU and some of the products and services we offer. RENVU is a US-based solar equipment distributor, and the company was founded in 2012 and based in California. We have fulfillment centers in California, New Jersey, and Texas. We are distributing leading brands such as Enphase, Iron Ridge, Bleaker, SMA, Q-Sales, Canadian Solar, and more. We have a wide range of energy storage products, as you can see here: SolarArc, Fortress Power, Simplify, Growatt, Solis, and BYD, and more. We're sharing now in the chat a link to our commercial price list, which includes pricing for solar panels. And it also has a tab for ESS options and inverters. This file is being updated constantly and can be a great resource for you. So save it and check it often. When you need solar panels or ESS, you can compare pricing here. This is a great resource for that. I would like also to show you the Bleaker residential carport. This is a very popular product for us now. This product allows you to expand your customer's existing solar system or is an alternative solution for those who can't install solar on the roof. This is not a commercial product, it's a residential. You can fit up to 24 panels on each carport that can generate more than 8.6 kilowatt of power. It's pre-designed with engineering letters to make the permitting process quick and easy, stamped by a structural engineer out of the box with basic load capacities of 30 pound per square foot snow load. Can be upgraded up to 65 pound per square foot and 175 miles per hour wind load, and seismic design category E. No roof replacement required, eligible for extended 26% ITC since it's considered as a solar structure. It's easily can be installed by two-person crew, and let's see, you can connect multiple structures with shared columns. It comes galvanized with protective marine grade paint. It accepts any type of panel. So if you have a preferred solar panel that you want to work with, this is coming with Iron Ridge rails and under clamps. So there is no real need to know what panel you're going to install on it. It can accept almost any panel out there in the market. When combined with a Bleaker EPDM T-gasket, the surface become watertight, and there are several other accessories that you can add to make it look good and hide the electronics. There's a decorative mesh that you can install underneath the panels, and the system itself comes pre-drilled with holes that accept the Enel X JuiceBox. You can install 2 of them, 1 on each column. The Bleaker carport is being produced in the US and comes with 25 years warranty. Last thing that I want to share is our online design and quote tool. You can find it on our homepage. This tool enables you to generate a full bill of material and quote for any type of system in minutes without any need to wait for a sales engineer to do it for you. Let's see why it doesn't play. Okay. When you're logged in to your account, you will see pricing updated on the left side where the bill of material is being updated. And then you can select any type of a roof or ground mount and build a exact bill of material for your system. It shows also some system size statistics on the left. You can add storage, and then at the last page you can also add Enel X EV Chargers, and you can select also how many you want in this case, and other balance of system items, permitting. And when you finish, you have a button at the top that enables you to get a quote to your email. If you have any questions about these products or about NLX, please feel free to ask in the Q&A section, and we will get to the questions at the end of the webinar during the Q&A session. You can also email our sales team at info@renvu.com for more information and pricing. As well, we do have recording of previous webinars on the RENVU YouTube channel if you want to take a look at any of our past webinar offerings. This webinar is being recorded and we will send you a link in a follow-up email. Okay, it looks like we are about to get started here. I'm going to hand it over to Amanda.
Thank you so much, Erez. It's great to be here with everybody. I'm going to be sharing our wonderful JuiceBox slides with you. Bear with me 1 second. There we go. Okay, everybody can see the screen, Erez?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we're going to jump into just going over NLX and what that means from a global organization perspective. So with the JuiceBox, we're tied to NLX, a global utility headquartered in Rome, Italy. So from a grand total, we're looking at 79 billion in annual revenue across the organization. We're deploying in over 31 countries and have over 49 gigawatts worth of renewable capacity across the global scale. So with that being said, we've been able to really take a huge hold here in North America when it comes to the e-mobility space. When we look at our global scale on e-mobility, we have over 230,000 charging ports that are deployed, with over 6.3 gigawatts of capacity on the demand response side of the business. With Enel being a utility, we've actually been able to really build a strong North American presence with all of the utility programs. So one of the key pieces that we'll get into a little bit later is the rebates available within the utility and having the JuiceBox approved both on a residential and a commercial scale for all of the different programs across the country. So here, taking a bird's eye view of our North American footprint, we have over 70,000 charging stations deployed currently to date. This here gives you a beautiful snapshot of our partners across all of the segments. So we have our automakers, our auto OEMs, our e-retailers, utilities. So that goes back to our discussion about our strategic partnerships across the country with the utility programs available for rebates to leverage. And then of course we have our enterprise logos as well as our strategic resellers. And of course, we've done some really phenomenal work with RENVU and really incorporating the JuiceBox into the carport specifically. So jumping into some stats with the electrification. So this goes through everything that's ever so changing, from all of the new mandates that are coming, the auto industry investments that are taking hold in the marketplace, as well as the constantly evolving new EV models that are hitting the road every other day. So this slide is really intriguing. So as you can see, by 2040, we'll have exceeded over the 50% majority threshold for EV drivers in the market. taking a bigger leap into the incentives. So when we're looking at the residential EVSE incentives as well as commercial, you will have a lot of different places to pull from. So there is federal ITC money associated with the EV chargers, as well as state rebates / grants available on a state level. And then there's this third tier of utility incentive money that you'd be able to capture on a utility level. So marrying all three of those incentives, it really creates a very lucrative deployment strategy when it comes to the EVSE component. So jumping right into our solutions. So this is a full product lineup of our e-mobility hardware in North America. So all the way to the left, that's going to be our residential JuiceBox. All the way to the right is our DC Fast. I'm just going to be touching on residential today, but I really encourage anyone that is interested in learning more about our commercial offering to reach out to RENVU, and we can 100% help with advisory services on the commercial side of the house as well. So with our residential JuiceBox in today's world, we have 3 different offerings. We have our 32 amp, 40 amp, and 48 amp. 48 amp tends to be the most popular to date. And as you can see, you're looking at anywhere from a 7 to 9 times faster charge time when you're in that 40 to 48 amperage realm. All of our juice boxes are going to be Wi-Fi compatible for you, and it's a very simple setup post-installation to get them onto the Wi-Fi and onto the app. This gives you a snapshot of our JuicePass app. So this is downloaded right from an app store on either Google Play or your Apple Store or iOS. And from here, you'll see you have a lot of analytics to pay attention to. You have your current state of charge, you have your state of charge from a starting time perspective, you have your smart charging override parameter, and then you can have your scheduled charging times in there as well. So the beauty with our JuicePass app is that it also allows you to have full access to our public charging. So not only will the end user from a home perspective be able to leverage JuicePass from their home charging needs, but it will also open up the map to all of our public charging stations across the country. We also just finalized our roaming network with charge points. So in addition to that, you'll also see charge points, charging stations on the public network as well, just to allow for as much charging opportunities from a dot perspective. And so here, this gives you a really comprehensive side-by-side comparison across Enel with our juice boxes and some of the other brands that you'll find out in the market. So as you can see from a warranty and price to value ratio, as far as what you're able to get from a feature set perspective with us, with load balancing and having that one of the higher amperage boxes in the market, we're able to come in with a 3-year out-of-box warranty for you with definitely the best price to value ratio that you'll find in the marketplace today. And that's it for my slide deck. Let me stop sharing here for a moment. And Erez, I believe we're going to open it up for Q&A with everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm looking through the notes right now. So I see here, can you explain more on how EV charging can qualify for the ITC? Yes. So currently today, with any EVSE deployment, there's a 30% federal ITC on the total project cost, up to $30,000 per site level, site address. So hypothetically, if there was potentially on the commercial side, if there was multiple site addresses in a portfolio, $30,000 per site address would qualify for that 30% ITC. Does this have anything to do with Electrify America? No, so our JuiceBox stations under Juice Pass map for public charging as well as for residential home were not affiliated with Electrify America. Let's see here. Any plans to bring back an 80 amp model? Yes, actually. So we are on target right now to have our 80 amp model ready to ship for the second half of this year. So we're just finalizing some things on the UL certification side, and off to the races we go with mass production. We should be ready to start shipping and have them readily available by Q3. What is the business model for distributors? So as it stands right now, if you are interested in some type of distribution strategic partnership, you can reach out to RENVU and we can have a roundtable to see exactly what would make sense. We do have a few distribution partners right now that will warehouse all the different SKUs that we have, and then they work with regional contractors or regional end customers to be able to help the lead times. Just in this given marketplace, we're really handling a lot with supply chain, as I'm sure you all are aware. So this has really helped keep the lead times down dramatically going this route. Do you use the ChargePoint network for monitoring? No. So we have our own proprietary software, JuiceNet Enterprise, which is our own back end and front end. The only affiliation you'll see from a ChargePoint perspective is that we're coming up on their map, on their app, as well as vice versa. So just that interoperability is what you'll see from the ChargePoint relationship with the JuiceBox Enel side of the house. Oh, I lost my question.
The next question is if there is annual subscription required.
On the residential juice boxes, no. The app is a free download. And then on the commercial side, for every individual port, it would be $120 per port per year.
And so a port is one juice box? Or?
One juice box, exactly. One port would be one juice box.
And if they're buying the pedestal with two juice boxes, is it saving that, or will it be per pedestal?
It would be, so for a pedestal, it would be just a double up. So it would be $240 per year per pedestal, yes.
Okay.
Do you ever own/maintain equipment at sites? We do offer an O&M plan where we would cover all of the labor. So essentially what we're doing is we're marrying the 3-year out-of-box warranty with the 3-year labor warranty. So we guarantee uptimes of the stations, and then in turn, we'll dispatch our O&M team to get out there and service everything. So the end user / owner of the physical station would not be responsible for any of the O&M ongoing maintenance or service work. Additionally, Enel does not personally own the stations or purchase them from a CapEx perspective, but we do have financier partners that do so. And then in turn, we would offer it as like a site host scenario for whoever has the site where the stations would deploy. From the V2G applications, so yes, so we have a lot going on the energy services side with working to really bring that to the finish line, if you will. So V2G right now is not fully realized with us. So we are probably about a good 6 months away from having a lot of client-facing offerings to go through from a collaterals perspective with V2G. Do you have any co-branding for marketing opportunities? Yes, so we do a lot of co-branding. It's a case-by-case scenario, and we can work together on co-marketing strategy opportunities, as well as co-branding of the physical units, where we do offer a white labeled solution for both level 2 as well as DC fast. How many users can be on the one port JuiceBox? So the dashboard itself is the $120 fee. You can have as many admins on there as you'd like, so we don't have a cap for that. And essentially all you're doing is going right into the dashboard and setting up their name and email address, and just telling us in the dashboard if they're a driver or if they're an approved admin. And that's all inclusive within that 120. Yes, the warranty out of box is the 3 years. And if there is any additional need, we do offer a 2-year extended warranty for all of our products.
Under the Q&A, there are several questions. Rafael is asking about fast charging models. You have multiple inquiries from customers, motels, stores, restaurants.
Oh, yes. So we have a very, very comprehensive portfolio right now. It stems anywhere from a 50 kW, we have a 150 kW and a 175 kW ready to ship today. In the workings, we're working on a 120 kW single unit that can scale up to 360. And there's a 22 to 24 kW that we're in the final stages of integrating with our software. So essentially, as the months progress and the years progress, we'll keep adding to this portfolio and making sure that we have the cutting edge technology in to really tailor whatever program we're going into. But as it stands of what's available today, we can really help you identify the best hardware configuration to meet the site's needs. And of course, the use case, of course.
There is someone is asking about CAD graphics. If they're available, they want to incorporate it into the residential designs and submittals.
Yes, so we do have that available, and I do have some design spec sheets, if you will, that I could provide to you, Ares, and you can distribute as needed for sure.
Okay. On the chat, there is somebody that is asking if there are two-way charging wall boxes or only one-way.
At this moment, we have one way. I will say we do on our roadmap have a 2-port wall box that will be available, anticipated for Q4, but I could very well see that getting pushed into 2023. So it's a long way out. As of right now, just the 1-port wall box. And I do see another one here. For commercial dual charger, we have a 480 amp service coming. What can we get? Okay, so we do have several options for that. So what I would say would probably be the sweet spot there would be the 50 kW. And we would probably be able to get a couple of those deployed there, but we could do a comprehensive site design based on the 40 amp service coming in, and we can help position which hardware would work best there with that given service. Let's see. Does this work for all EVs or only for certain ones? Yep, so they work with all EV makes and models. Tesla, of course, has an adapter on their end, but yes, compatible with all makes and models. And then, of course, Tesla will leverage their adapter. Any plans for bi-directional charging on level 2? I'm detached from it. I know high level, yes, 100 million %. We are definitely going in that direction. I'm just not privy to where we are with that at this time. I can definitely, if you want to have a touch afterwards, we can get a little bit more in depth with some other team members from Enel to discuss further. Why 30% ITC and not 26? That's a great question. Unlike the solar ITC that has, you know, the cascading effect, if you will, it's just been set in stone. This is now year 3 with the 30% ITC since they resurrected it. And they've just left it at that 30% marker. For larger commercial electrical installations, would you share the electrical engineering scope so that I may better understand the requirements? Yes, of course. We actually have a resource hub that would go through all of the installation guides so that you can know what the scope of work is and make sure that you have all of the minimum requirements met for each individual installation. So we can share that as well. Compatible with 0 other manufacturer motorcycle charging. That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure on that. Mark, I can 100% get back to you offline. I'll double check on that one.
Amanda, this is Wes.
Hey, Wesley.
What was that question again?
Is the JuiceBox compatible with 0 or other manufacturer motorcycles?
I believe it is with the 0, as long as it has a J1772 connector, then the charger will be compatible with that specific motorcycle.
Thank you, Wesley.
Under the Q&A, there is a question about the support. Is it wireless, via wireless communication, or is it on-site maintenance required for residential?
For residential, it's going to be the Wi-Fi connection.
Can you talk a little bit about communication with commercial juice boxes? What options you have?
Oh, yes, of course, of course. So on the commercial side, we offer a baseline with Wi-Fi connectivity. So that's going to be your best friend in the event that you can make it work. As long as the signal strength is super, super high, it will be very reliable for you. We've seen some really creative things with Wi-Fi boosters, running it right out to the actual isolated site, things like that. That in turn will eliminate any need for an OpEx requirement for a cellular data plan. But hypothetically, if Wi-Fi simply just was not an option, we do also have cellular connectivity options available, which would have a year-over-year cellular data plan that would be associated with keeping the stations online. Okay, are these products made and assembled in the USA? So we are manufacturing currently today in Bitron, Mexico, and then we do a lot of the assembly here in the US. We have our HQ in San Carlos, California. Do you have 480 volt options? Yes, we do. So all of that DCFC side of the house will be your 480 volt options that we have available from a level 2 perspective now. JuiceBox Chargers made it possible for a long way up. Yeah. Oh, so I guess that's just a comment, but yes, that if anyone doesn't know what that's referring to, if you check out the documentary Long Way Up, it's quite remarkable to see what those gentlemen did. So residential question, purchasing a Toyota RAV4 prime plug-in, it will take 12 hours to charge with the 110 volts in our garage. If we up the voltage to 220 volt in our garage, it will charge in half the time, 6 hours. Would a residential juice box set up for 2-car plug-in be beneficial? Wesley, do you want to grab that one?
Yeah, if you have 2 cars, you can purchase 2 juice boxes and connect them to the same circuit and utilize our juice I'm sorry, our load balancing software that will allow each charger to share that power source, and they will talk to each other. So the first charger can charge in full. If someone comes in and plugs into the second charger, it will acknowledge that and give half the power to each of the chargers. Currently, out of the box, our residential chargers are just one port, so it would require two of the chargers to do that.
Thank you. Okay, so there must be cell service or Wi-Fi access for the residential JuiceBox to operate. So for the residential JuiceBox, you will want it connected to your Wi-Fi access, and it would be Wi-Fi enabled. On the commercial side is really where you see the Wi-Fi or the cell service as your two scenarios for connectivity.
Okay. It looks like it slows down. So if you have any other questions about the Enel X, feel free to ask in the Q&A section. We will email back if we don't get to answer it now. You can also email us at info@renvu.com for more information, questions, or pricing. As I mentioned before, this webinar is being recorded, and we will send you a link in a follow-up email with some answers that we promised here. Let's see if there are a couple more questions there.
Okay, so for example, 100 cars in the parking spots with 480 volt service, 3-phase, looking for smart solution with power management. Yes, we can solve that for you 100%. If a solar PV system is installed in residential or commercial facility, can we direct surplus energy that is not consumed on site to EV charging? Yep, so we have a really phenomenal case study with UMass Boston, where we have PV storage and EVSE deployments, all of which act within a really smart ecosystem and full synergy together. So yes, we can work within the parameters of the project to do so. What about off-grid EV charging solutions for commercial? We have a couple third-party options that we've leveraged, but internally within Enel, we don't have any off-grid EV charging solutions. And I don't know if RENVU wants to jump in on that as well.
That will require a special inverter, probably on site, to just imitate the grid for the Enel X. I saw a solution that used Enel X for off-grid situation.
Yes, we can 100% share the Boston case study. And then Wesley, you want to grab this one, the RAV4 Prime question follow-up. So will 2 juice boxes, as you described, charge faster than the 6 hours if we up the voltage to the 220 volt?
For 2 vehicles, I'd need to do the math on that, but I don't think so. I think it'll still take 12 hours for 2 vehicles.
Oh, and I see Katie just shared the UMass Boston case study. Thank you, Katie. And then Jay has a question, Erez, if you want to jump in on this one. What is the average cost per kW for solar?
We're talking about the leakier in this case, Jay? So we will follow up with you afterwards just to understand exactly the system that you're looking for. It different. Depends on the installation, if it's a rooftop or ground mount.
Amanda, Daryl has a question about what percentage of issues are solved remotely.
Great question. So we have the majority of this remote resolution happen. The only time that it would bleed into needing on-site support would be from us identifying that something needed to be serviced within the hardware, or if we chose to just do a replacement of the unit. But as far as from a diagnostics perspective and really working with any software, firmware updates and troubleshooting, we can do that all remote.
We will add the Boston case study to the email, the follow-up email too.
Yes, and I would say if there's anything specifically that we can help you with, whether it's specifically DC fast charging, whether it's residential, level 2 commercial, if there's specific needs that we can really assist you with, feel free to put that in the chat as well, and we'll be able to tailor the response to you that way.
Okay, so any question that we didn't answer here, we will follow up by email, and you're welcome to email us, and we'll continue the conversation. Thanks, Amanda, and all NLX team for joining us today and introducing the Enel X EV Chargers. And we will close the webinar right now. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. Cheers.